Opening scene with calming nature sounds and visuals of ancient temples, forests, and sacred sites. Welcome to today's video, where we will explore the fascinating world of paganism, a spiritual belief system that has existed for thousands of years, influencing cultures, traditions, and practices across the world. But what exactly is paganism? And why has it remained relevant even in the modern world? Join me as we delve into the history, beliefs, and practices of this ancient religion. Paganism is often described as a diverse and polytheistic belief system, but its roots stretch deep into the past, long before the rise of the major monotheistic religions like Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. To understand paganism, we need to travel back in time to the ancient civilizations that shaped its foundations. Historians believe that paganism emerged in the Neolithic period around 10,000 BCE, during the rise of early agricultural societies. The first pagans were the people of ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Celtic tribes of Europe, and the early Indo-Europeans. These early societies had a deep connection to nature, recognizing the forces of the sun, moon, earth, and water as powerful deities that controlled their world. Unlike modern religions that focus on a single god, paganism worshipped many gods and goddesses, each associated with specific aspects of life. There was a god for love, for war, for the harvest, and for the changing seasons. This belief in multiple deities is known as polytheism. At the heart of paganism lies a profound reverence for nature. Pagans believe that everything in the natural world, from trees and rivers to animals and the elements, possesses divine energy. This idea is known as animism. It's the belief that everything, both living and non-living, has a spirit or soul. One of the most common symbols in paganism is the Wheel of the Year. This symbol represents the cyclical nature of life and the changing seasons. The Wheel of the Year is divided into 8 key festivals, which align with the solstices, equinoxes, and midpoints of the seasons. These festivals celebrate the cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. Another core principle in paganism is the idea of balance and harmony. Pagans believe in a balance between light and dark, life and death, creation and destruction. It's not about good versus evil. Instead, it's about understanding the natural order and respecting its flow. Paganism features a vast pantheon of gods and goddesses. Each deity represents a different aspect of life, from the forces of nature to human emotions and experiences. Take, for example, the Greek gods and goddesses. Zeus, the king of the gods, ruled over the sky, thunder, and lightning. Hera, his wife, was the goddess of marriage and family. Then there's Artemis, the goddess of the hunt and the moon, and Demeter, the goddess of the harvest. In Celtic paganism, we find a similar array of deities. The goddess Brigid, associated with poetry, healing, and fertility, is still honored today in modern pagan festivals. And of course, the god Cernunnos, the horned god of the forest, who represents fertility, nature, and the wild. These gods and goddesses aren't worshipped in isolation. Many pagans practice rituals and ceremonies to honor the divine forces and to seek blessings for their lives. Rituals are an essential part of paganism. These rituals can vary greatly depending on the specific tradition or path, but they all center around connecting with the divine and nature. One of the most common pagan rituals is the celebration of the Sabbats, which are the 8 festivals mentioned earlier. These festivals include Imbolc, Beltane, Lammas, and Samhain. Each festival marks a particular point in the solar year and is celebrated with specific customs, offerings, and prayers. Another important aspect of pagan rituals is the use of magic or spell work. While not all pagans practice magic, many do, using it to create positive change in their lives. Magic in paganism is often about aligning one's will with the natural forces of the universe to bring about desired outcomes. Some pagans also engage in divination practices like reading tarot cards, using runes, or scrying with mirrors or crystals. These tools help practitioners connect with the spiritual world and receive guidance. Despite its ancient roots, paganism is not just a relic of the past. In fact, in recent decades, paganism has experienced a resurgence, especially with the rise of neo-paganism and the Wicca movement in the mid-20th century. One of the main driving forces behind this revival is the search for a spiritual path that connects people to the earth, nature, and the cycles of life. Many people today feel disconnected from the natural world and are drawn to paganism as a way to reclaim that connection. Wicca, for example, was popularized by figures like Gerald Gardner and Doreen Valiente in the 1950s. It emphasizes the worship of the god and goddess, the practice of magic, and the observance of the Wheel of the Year festivals. Wicca is now one of the most well-known forms of modern paganism. In addition to Wicca, there are many other forms of modern paganism, including Druidry, heathenry, and Hellenism, each with its own unique practices and traditions. One of the most compelling reasons why paganism is relevant today is its deep respect for the environment. Pagans see the earth as sacred and believe that humanity has a responsibility to care for it. This view aligns with modern environmentalism, as many pagans are passionate advocates for sustainability, conservation, and the protection of natural resources. Eco-paganism, a movement within the broader pagan community, specifically focuses on the environmental impact of human activities. Pagans who identify with this movement often engage in activism, plant trees, or promote ecological practices as part of their spiritual path. Unfortunately, paganism has often been misunderstood or misrepresented, especially throughout history. In medieval Europe, pagans were often persecuted, branded as witches, and subjected to violence during the Inquisition. This fear and ignorance surrounding pagan practices still persist today. One common misconception is that paganism is about evil or devil worship. This couldn't be further from the truth. Paganism, as a spiritual tradition, has no concept of Satan. In fact, pagans believe in the power of positive energy and strive for harmony, balance, and respect for the earth. Another misconception is that pagans engage in harmful or dangerous practices. While there are some extreme individuals or groups, the majority of pagans are peaceful people who celebrate nature and seek to live in harmony with it. As we've seen, paganism is a rich and diverse belief system with deep roots in human history. It's a spiritual path that honors the sacredness of the earth, celebrates the cycles of nature, and reveres a multitude of gods and goddesses. Whether you're drawn to its ancient rituals, its reverence for nature, or its message of personal empowerment, paganism continues to offer a meaningful way for people to connect with the divine and the world around them. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the fascinating world of paganism. If you found this video informative, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like to learn more about pagan beliefs and practices, let me know in the comments section. Scene fades with soft music and visuals of nature. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the mysteries of the world.